while since we've done anything with some index cards. And what I have are just a handful of 4x6 index cards, okay? What I was thinking about doing on these is, now what I want to do is make this like a little journal type thing. Never mind this, we did that. That was posted already. To make the index card, give it a little bit of tab, but make a book that these sit down into, and then make a box that the whole thing slides in and out of. So I have a 4x6. You can use any size. If you want, you can use these even bigger ones, okay, or the smaller ones, depending on how big you want your book. Okay, you can use this size, because what you're going to do is you're going to actually be going by whatever size cards you use. I actually kind of like the idea of using these ginormous ones. Let me see. This is an 8x5 or 4x6. I think they make one that's kind of in the middle. I don't know, but I don't think it goes by inches. I think it goes by centimeters. And I think you can get those on Temu. Okay. I don't know. I think I might stick with these for now and save these for a recipe thing that I have coming up. And if you know recipes, like I know recipes, you'll need the extra room to write with. So anyway, these are 4x6 lined. You can use the unlined, whatever. And what I'm going to do is put a tab on the top of these. And what I was thinking, I have these little butterflies. I actually have this, okay, and it makes these fabulous little butterflies. And I thought about cutting them in half and using these to make the tabs with. That way, if you cut them in half, you can use the front and the back. Okay, I'll kind of line that up a little better, like that. Okay, and use that to pull these in and out. If you don't have anything like that, if you have a regular circle punch would work. I would recommend, well, this is a 2-inch punch. That'll give you more than enough room to do that. I would stay away from the little tiny ones. I don't think that's quite enough to get your fingers on to pull that out of there. If you have dies, you can always use some of your little circle things. Just cut them in half and use them the same way. I kind of like the butterfly idea. However, I haven't picked out any of the decorative papers for this yet, so I don't know what I'm going to be using. I found these, some flowers. Now, see, this is where the butterflies would actually come in handy. All right, now these are some little almost 6x6 inches, probably 5 7/8, get my luck, papers that we can use to decorate this thing up with. So, you'll measure your card however big, and if you want to do this, how much ever room you have. Now you can fold it out this way. I think leaving those antennas and stuff exposed will just cause them to be, beat up a lot more. If you wanted to do it like this, I recommend cutting them in half and using them, where you're actually gluing the antenna and the body onto the card, just to keep it nice looking. Now the cards themselves, I'm not going to decorate other than putting the tabs on the tops. And all our decoration is going to come into what's going to be holding these all together. And with a 6x4, I would make the pocket 6.5 by, well, I would probably, let me see this here. Figure out where on this card I'll be placing these, okay? And you'll see that's going to put us, I just soon go to the whole next inch up, and then come back down from there. So planning this thing out, that way you'd have more than enough room to cut down. The top of this would probably put us at, let me see how many black pieces we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that'll be enough for this project, and then I can order more, and that's what I get in case if you're wondering. Okay. All right, so 5 pieces, 8.5 by 11. And what we'll do is, I'm going to use this for the front and the back cover. It's the only one I have 2 of. Now our card, like I said, is 6x4. Okay. I'm going to go ahead on out to 6.5 for the width of this, so it has plenty of room. This we know we'll have to cut down. The pocket for this, let's see. Let me get these out of the way. This too. Alright, so the pocket. I'm not going to worry too much about this way. We'll worry about that when we get ready to go scoring. But for now, let's see. 4. And let's see. Should be right there. Why is that too big? Alright, so I guess we'll go to 4.5. Alright, I'm not hard to get along with. Alright, so do this at 4.5. Try not to let your ruler or whatever you're using move. Pull this up. It'll be too short. Okay, and that'll go in there like so. Okay, so we'll have that much plus enough room for this to stick up. Okay. All right, so 4.5. What seems to be the problem here? Alright, so 4. And then this will be glued in. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and mark where you're going to glue. You can give yourself 1/4 of an inch there. Okay, we're not going to be gluing the bottom. And then over here on the side, do the same thing. Figure right up there. And we're going to score. Half mark here. All right, so that when you put your card in, it'll go in right there. Okay, and it'll also have a top to it. Tab on there like that, and your card down in here. Let me see. All right, so if you want your tab to stick up even further, we're at 4.5. You could go to 4 1/4, 4 3/8. All my stuff seems to like that 3/8, so I'm gonna go ahead and square this thing up on 3/8. All right. I don't know why we're bowing like that. Okay. That way, then this goes in. Yeah. All right. Now, while I have this here, okay, it's 2 inches. All right, so we want 1 inch. We'll put us halfway. Okay, and as you can see, let's see. We can put our mark. Let's see. Let's do 1 1/4. Let's do 1 1/2. And let's see, half. No, it's right about here. Let me grab this thing. Go 2 holes. Let's see, this is the front, and then we'll have the flower here. Let's see, go up a little bit. Let's see how much is. And then figure out if you want to do the border. You can see from this here, if you want to add that much at the top, you'll have to add that much at the bottom. Of course, that's completely optional. That'll put us in about right here-ish. That's on the 8th mark, go figure. All right. Looks good. Save this. Saving my little strips because you know how I am with those. Let me move this out of the way. All right. Roosters crowing everywhere. And then in here, all right. And then for this, we have these little decorative pieces that'll be left over from all kinds of good stuff here. Figure out what it is you want to use for your tab. If it's going to be a semicircle, if it's going to be half of a butterfly. Let me see this here. I kind of like the way that looks. This. I'm just simply going to cut this guy in half. Or close enough. Alright, so let me see. And we have this piece too, so if you want to make these cards to where they match what's going on down here, you sure can. I'm just going to do a little tuck spot. And I'm going to put it on the back side. Oop, wrong card. Let me put it on the back side of this one. Alright, there's that. Let me see. I'll do this up here at the top. Alright, I'm gonna do this little pink butterfly. Right there. Move it over. Get it lined up. Alright. Can trim any white if you need to. Or you can ink it out of existence. Either way. Let me just go ahead and make sure we got this even. Okay. And there we have it. Our first card. If your card's tight like that, get your ruler in here. Watch. Open sesame. Okay. And get it down. A little bit of a twist. Not much, just a little bit. And you should see a noticeable difference. Voila. Okay. Now I have these black strips. I'll probably use those on something else. But there is our first card. And you're going to repeat this for how many ever cards you want. Okay.